Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Desiree, and if you're new here, welcome and thank you for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing my top 5 Christian podcasts to listen to, and basically Christian podcasts that I recommend, suggest that you all check out and listen to, since I love podcasts. So let's go ahead and get to the video. Podcast number 1 that I recommend is BiChristian Meditations. And BiChristian Meditation podcast is basically what it sounds like, what the title is, a Christian meditation podcast. And each episode has a theme. If they're talking about hope or encouragement, it leads you into, in every episode, it leads you into like the message and prayer and then your meditation. And this is all in one episode. And I just really love it because this podcast really kind of helped me get the day started. I use this like to start my day. I listen to it in the morning, and then also I really found listening to the episodes at night. So you really utilizing the meditations at night, because I know that sometimes I'm really restless at night, and so BiChristian meditations are really great to kind of include in your nighttime routine, especially if you're looking to get ready for the night to go to bed. So highly recommend BiChristian meditations. So that's number 1. Podcast number 2 that I recommend is Morning Mindset. And Morning Mindset is a Christian daily devotional, which is amazing. I have been listening to this podcast for a year now, and it's a morning devotional. And who don't want to listen to a morning devotional to get your day started? I don't know who doesn't. But the host of this podcast is Kerry Green, and every episode he has a message he discussed. He used scripture, and every episode is 5 minutes, 5-minute shot to the soul. And it really is. It's a 5-minute devotional to kind of help you get your day started, to help you get your mind centered on the Lord, and just for you to take some time to spend time with the Lord, and maybe sitting down and writing down like what he's saying in the devotional, and anything, or the verse. I usually like write down the verse that he discussed every morning. And it's just a really great podcast to kind of help you get your day started, and just help you focus your mind on the Lord and not of things of the world and things that's going on. And it's a really great podcast. So that's the podcast that I suggest like really incorporating in your morning routine, and I have been doing that for a while. I don't listen to it every morning, but I do try to listen to it every other morning, and it has been really helpful and great. So that's number 2. Highly recommend that one. And let's go on to number 3. Number 3 is God-Centered Success. And the host of God-Centered Success is Mia Renee. And Mia Renee is a business coach and entrepreneur. And in this podcast, she talks about being God-centered and led in your business and in leadership. And I absolutely love this podcast. Every episode she talks about leadership skills and how to be God-centered in your business, and in being a creative, and not losing sight of God in the midst of working and doing what you're doing on a day-to-day. And she also, in a lot of her videos, she gives encouragement. So I highly suggest God-Centered Success, especially if you are a business woman or men, and if you're in leadership, or you're doing an online business and you're struggling as a Christian of not like, you're like losing sight of everything, and you just need help in the business aspect as a Christian. I highly recommend her podcast. Podcast number 4 that I recommend is the Flourish Effect. And the Flourish Effect is hosted by YouTuber Michelle Anna. I hope I'm saying her name right. I don't think I'm saying it right. Anyway, Michelle Anna here on YouTube. She has a podcast called the Flourish Effect, and I have been following her for years, and I've been following her on Instagram for a long time. And the fact that she has a podcast, I was like, yes, I absolutely love her, and I love her podcast. And she's a digital creative, she is a YouTuber, she is a blogger, she's all that. And I just love her, and I love when she used to be a little more active on YouTube. She have like a lot of videos, but I like how she has transitioned to a digital creative where she's using more of her platform on Instagram, and then of course now this podcast. So check her out if you all do not know who she is, but I'll link her YouTube channel in the description box. This podcast helps creatives build in their soul, in their business, and in their relationships. And her podcast is all about flourishing with God in all areas of your life, especially in business and your creative side, if that your YouTube channel, your website, if you're a blogger. And so it's a fairly new podcast. I think she just launched this podcast, I think over the summer, and it's a really great podcast. I love how every episode she just talks about, you know, using your gifts and using what God has given you to make an impact, to make a change, and to be confidently in the gift that God gave you, and to inspire and to make a difference and really just flourish. And I absolutely love this podcast, and especially if you are, you know, looking into, you know, becoming a digital creative, like if that may be starting a YouTube channel or being a blogger. It really helps you kind of feel confident in your ability to become a creative. In fact, it's kind of hard to describe because it's just like, it's really good, and each episode is just different. So I would say just check it out. You see what I'm talking about. But the Flourish Effect is really, really great, and so I highly recommend the Flourish Effect, and because it's amazing. It's a great podcast. So that's number 4. Podcast number 5 is Transformation Church. And Transformation Church is pretty a well-known church. It is pastored by Michael Todd. And I love Michael Todd. He's a really like young, energetic, relatable preacher. Every episode is a sermon. So let's say you missed their sermon via live stream, or you missed, you know, watching the sermon on YouTube, you can opt the other way and listen to the sermon via podcast. And I absolutely love it because you can be doing things while listening to the sermon. And so basically every episode is a sermon that he has preached. Sometimes it's up to date, sometimes it's not, so just depending on when they post the sermon. So yeah, I really love Transformation Church, and I love the sermons. He's really relatable to young people, young adults, and he's relatable to anybody, but he definitely gives me relatable young adult vibes. So yeah, check out Michael Todd and Transformation Church. I'll make sure to link all the podcasts in the description box so you all can check them out. But yeah, these are my top 5 Christian podcasts. I love these podcasts. I listen to them pretty much every week or every other week, it just depends. But yeah, I highly recommend that you all check out BiChristian Meditation. Number 2 is Morning Mindset by Carrie Green, hosted by Carrie Green. And then number 3 is God-Centered Success by Mia Renee, The Flourish Effect by Michelle Anna, and Transformation Church. Those are my top 5 Christian podcasts that I listen to, and I recommend that you all check them out. See if you like them. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day, night, or whenever you're watching this. So talk to y'all later. Bye.